I am Nicholas Mavresis, and I'd love to invite you to my brand new Alakazam Academy lecture happening on Thursday, the 12th of June. So this lecture is all about cards, not just playing cards. We'll dive into ESP cards, packet tricks, custom design cards, and even everyday carry items. Here's something really special about this lecture. I've brought in some amazing guest stars. They will appear on video, performing the effects in the real world for real spectators. You get to watch the effects performed on real audiences, giving you a feel of how they play out in the real world. You will learn how to find any four of a kind mentally, without touching the cards, without any sleight of hand. I'll teach you a fun compatibility test for couples. It's perfect for weddings, and it also ends with a surprising twist. You will take your spectator on a mental journey through the 7 wonders of the world, using just 7 cards and your spectator's imagination. All the material is super practical, easy to perform, fun to learn, and perfect for close-up, parlor, stage, or even casual settings with friends and family. Join me on the 12th of June, Thursday, for a fun, interactive night full of strong, commercial, and memorable magic. I can't wait to share it with you. See you all there.
Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Alakazam Live. Now, this may be the last live for a couple of weeks because I'm off again next week and I think the week after. So I'm not sure, there might be one, there might not be one, but just make sure you've got your notifications turned on, because if you have them turned on, then you'll know when we go live. So much has been happening at Alakazam. If you've got any questions about anything, drop them into the chats and we'll have a look. Now, there was a question that just came up that I just spotted by Ben, who said, I'm hopefully coming to the convention next year. I'll see there'll be a gala show. Is there an option to pay for a +1 just for the gala show? Unfortunately, there isn't, because the convention is being held in a cinema. We are limited by the seat numbers. Okay, so the seat numbers in the screen, that's the amount of seats and admissions we can sell to the convention. So everyone that joins us for the convention, rather than do them at separate prices, everyone that joins us to the convention will get a seat for the gala. So unfortunately, unless we don't sell out the tickets, which I can't see happening because they're almost all gone anyway. Unless, you know, we don't sell out, we might offer a couple of seats, but I honestly cannot see that happening. Let's see what else is happening here. Roy Brownlow has the BGT winner spent his winnings on Alakazam vouchers. I haven't seen them yet, but that's actually a good reminder. So, yeah, huge congratulations to Harry for winning BGT. Harry Maulding, brilliant magician, great act. And I didn't watch the whole show, I just watched his act, but I presume he was a very deserved winner. In fact, if you watched BGT this year, let us know what you thought of the magic on there. I didn't get to see it. I only saw Harry's final act. I haven't seen any other acts throughout the BGT. Let me know what you think. Now, this week we have got a special guest. It is the legend that is Mr. Jamie Dawes. Let's bring him in. Jamie Dawes.
Bonjour. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. It's been very busy today already. Me and Harry were interviewed this morning by Craig, talking about the convention and talking about Alakazam. And I think that's going live on Craig's YouTube channel on Saturday, maybe. So make sure you check that out. We talk about Alakazam and where we are now, and you know what's planned for the future and stuff like that. It was supposed to be an interview just on the convention, but it ended up being an Alakazam interview with me and H. So that was enjoyable this morning. And then we've just had major deliveries come in. So we've had some amazing new stuff coming in from Penguin. I'm going to play one of the trailers in a moment. And we've had our Monday delivery from Murphy's. From Murphy's, supposed to be in on Monday, but got held up in customs, so it came in today instead.
It's been a really busy few weeks, really, hasn't it? We've not stopped for the past 2 weeks since we had Terry down for the academy. It's been 3-4 weeks of non-stop. Every day has been something going on.
Yeah, it's getting busier and busier and busier. Not only with the amount of orders that are going out, which obviously we're really thankful for. We're really thankful for all of your support, whether you're ordering from us here in the UK, through Europe, or even America. I know you're keeping Chris busy in America as well with all the orders. So thank you everyone that's supporting Alakazam Magic. We are growing so fast because of you. So the orders have been busy, but just the other stuff we've got going on as well, and all the planning for things we've got coming up, products we've got coming out. Talking of products, someone did say, when's the next Craig Petty trick coming out? I believe that's either next week or the week after.
Yeah, because it's the 3rd. Yeah, so it'll be next week probably.
Yeah.
Do you want me to have a look at the schedule and see?
Yeah.
I reckon next week. Let's have a look. See. Yes, I reckon next week, because then 2 weeks after that we have another release.
Yes.
Which we've been waiting years and years for to come out.
Yeah. We certainly have. So just had a question come in from Shay, who says, I'm a beginner of Magic, so do you have any beginner's tricks for me to learn? Shay, if you go over to our website, have a look for the Amazing Magic range. So this is a selection of tricks that we have handpicked that are ideal for a beginner. They're really strong magic, but really simple to do. So go and have a look, the Amazing Magic range. If someone is on the chat, this is on YouTube. I think Shay's on YouTube. If someone can put in a link, if you're watching on YouTube, to the Amazing Magic range page, and then Shay can click on that.
And also check out Alakazam Unlimited, because we do have a beginner section on there, which maybe I'll spend some time putting maybe like a little section on there where each of us can put on our favorite beginner trick from Unlimited or something, and then we can have like a little profile for all of us. I think that'd be great. But if you go on there is a beginner section on Unlimited, and you can dive right into loads of those. I think we did the stats for it this morning. Harry did a little video earlier. I think we've got 350 odd videos now. It was 332 videos, 61 creators, and 117 of them are originals, which means over 1/3 of the entire site content is brand new material that you can only get on Unlimited. So it's a good place to start. You've got everything on there. If you want to learn some coins, Shay, you can do that. If you want to do some card stuff, we've got some beginner start card stuff. A lot of Wayne Goodman stuff is on there. So if you want to learn beginner rope stuff, there's some great tricks on there. It's really worth it. And, you know, it's $4.99 a month, but you do get a 7-day free trial. So pop on there, Shay, check it out. It's free to have a browse for 7 days. And if you find something on there, then great. And if not, it doesn't matter. You can just cancel your subscription and you're all set.
Yeah. We've been talking about it. You guys will know we've been talking about it for a while. It is going to be happening in the next couple of months. We're going to be looking at the Alakazam Unlimited Hangout as well, where you guys will be able to join us. If you're members of Unlimited, you'll be able to join us monthly on like a Zoom meeting where we can all get together. And there's a few other things that we've got planned. We're just trying to work out how we can do them. But these are things that I really think are going to benefit both unlimited members and non-unlimited members, really, and help you with your magic. We've got some big plans going forward. As always, Alakazam, and it's something I'm really proud of, is we're always throwing in new ideas in the hat. And, you know, we are usually the first to go forward with these things. And, you know, some of the things we got planned, I think, are very exciting, very exciting.
We had a really, so if you didn't know, we do actually have an Alakazam forum in Unlimited. We had a really lovely message. So on there, people can post. And someone said, Frank Upmeyer said, I've only been on Alakazam Unlimited for a few days, and I'd like to give the operators a big compliment. I've already seen many things that I can still learn. I've only been doing magic for 2 years, many tricks that fit well into my repertoire, and I've also received a lot of inspiration. So all of those sorts of things, it's like a little community. So you can go there, have a chat to other people. We really want to get that the community, the forum isn't the most buzzy place, and we really want it to be a buzzy place. So if you ever have any questions, ideas, thoughts, go there, and yeah, ask the questions. There's lots of really nice people in there, so it's worth visiting.
Yeah, it really is, guys. You need to, if you're not a member of
I appreciate the upgrade.
If you're not a member of Unlimited, go check it out. Like Jamie said, it's £4.99 a month. It is the cheapest subscription service probably in the world for magic. I don't think there's anything that matches our price, but it's probably got pretty much more content than most other streaming platforms, and we add to it every single week without fail. There's new content.
The thing with Unlimited as well is normally streaming services are provided by an individual or a small group of individuals, whereas with Unlimited you get a diverse range of different people. So we've got 61 creators on there. It's not just one individual person. We've got some, like the likes of, wait there, I'll get the name up. I've got Unlimited here. So these are the current creators, and of course we're adding more. We added one this week, which was Luch. So we've got Michael Lamar, John Archer, Joe Barry, Jasper Blakely, James Brown, Tommy Burnett, John Carey, Daniel Child, Colin Klaus, Chris Congreve, Doug Conn, Adam Dadswell, Dave Davies, Joel Dickinson, Wayne Dobson, Matthew Dowden, Ben L, Alex Elmsley. I'm not going to do all of them because we'll be here forever, but Luch, John Morton, Max Maven, Colin McLeod, Peter Nutt, I don't know who that, Andy Nyman, Martin Pierce, Mark Paul, Luis Omeldo, Craig Petty, Tom Peterson, Noel Coulter. It goes on and on and on. We've got so many of the world's best creators all on there. So if you want the most diverse range of creators, you're not going to ever be Unlimited, I don't think, at this point.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's so good, and you can see the love we're getting on the chat for it. It's such a good platform, and you know, hats off to Jamie. When he joined the company, this was his first task, and he knocked it out of the park. And I think I've said it before as well. I think 70 to 80% of your working week is unlimited.
Yeah, we finished editing this week. We finished editing up the Sleight School videos. So that's 44 videos that the wonderful Andy Smith filmed. And that is quite literally a library of moves and sleights. This week we put them up today, so you can go to this week's lessons. And we've got the top change, we've got second deal, we've got a strike double and a bottom deal, all in there, all filmed from multiple angles. At the end, there's always like a revisit where music just plays and you can see it from multiple angles. Andy did such a good job with it, breaking down those moves. So we want that to be a resource for you. So if you're reading a book, if you're watching a DVD and there's a move on it and you don't know, they haven't explained it, it's fine. Head over to Sleight School, and then we can you can look at that tutorial. So one thing that I did put on there today is if there's a move that's not there, if there's a sleight that's not there, a move that's not there, something that we've missed out, let us know in the forum, because Sleight School isn't done. Sleight School will grow and grow and grow. We want it to be the biggest resource of moves. So if there's something that is missing, let us know. We'll get it recorded with Andy, and then we'll get it added to Sleight School. So yeah, it's non-stop at Unlimited. And like you said, we've got 2 new things. We've got a new section that we're planning, which I still need to put together. And Andy had a great idea, which Pete had a few months back as well, for adding something else, which I think people are going to really, really enjoy. And if we can add that section, it's just going to be another completely different avenue for Unlimited to go down. And then in a few weeks' time, we've got a new course starting, which is a bit left field, but we love it and it's great. And that is a face painting course. So if you want to add, we're coming into the summer months. If there are fates, fairs, if you want to add a new skill, head on to there. And the wonderful Pixie, who is a professional makeup artist and facial effects artist, she's going to teach you the ins and outs of face painting so you can become a pro and just add something more to your bow.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So a lot of people speaking about Unlimited. So guys, if you're not a member already, go join up. 7-day free trial. Have a look around. I guarantee you will love it. I mean, it is exceptional great value. And yeah, I mean, bearing in mind, a year of Unlimited is not much more than a month of some other streaming services. You know, and you get a whole year for that sort of price. So you can't.
And all of the things that people were concerned about when we launched it. So the big concerns that we had was it wouldn't be maintained, there wouldn't be new content or fresh content up there, and we would put the price up. It's maintained every week. In fact, it's got bigger and better. It's much bigger and more ambitious than what we thought when we started it. We add new content every single week, and over a third of it is brand new content only available to Unlimited. And I can't remember what the third point was, but you know, everything that people worried about, we've alleviated. That was the price. The price going up. It stayed the same for over a year.
The price is still $4.99. Not saying that will never go up, but it's $4.99 at the moment. And we're even doing live lectures in there. Now, bearing in mind, if we had them as academies, they're 25 quid.
Yeah.
And they're just included in your monthly subscription.
And honestly, we've got another one coming up. We've got a new one coming up, haven't we? End of this month, I think 24th of June, the incredible Adam Dadswell. And if you've not seen the content that's already on Unlimited from Adam, things like Remembering 3, Synchronicity, there was another one which I can't remember, which we put on a couple of weeks ago. But we were all there filming that last summer, and we were all blown away by that. Yeah. The content is so good. So I've seen some of the things that he's putting into this lecture. It's going to be phenomenal. And the fact that it's $4.99 thrown in with everything else is, it's crazy. It's going to be a great night.
Yeah, 100%. Right.
And so, Cyclone is still our most watched video.
Really?
Cyclone is the most watched video on the platform. It regularly jumps back into the top 10. It's between you and Simon Lipkin's Studio Live lecture. It's those two which are
Lipkin's
constantly
lectures,
coming into the top 10.
All our Studio Lives have been phenomenal.
Yep.
Absolutely phenomenal.
I think our last Studio Live is still in the top 10. For those that don't know as well, if you go onto the platform, on the homepage, if you scroll down, there is a top 10. And that is a real up-to-date top 10. So I think at the moment, we've got Simon Lipkin at 6, and Daniel Charge Studio Live is at 7. and they've just knocked you off the top 10 because you are now 12. So you are no longer in the top 10. But it was Cyclone last week as well.
Well, honestly, I mean, there's nothing else we can say. I mean, if you don't want to join the 7-day free trial to check it out, there's nothing else we can say. Literally,
no, it's just a phenomenal thing to do. Yeah, and those people that used to do, like me and Andy both talk about, well, and yourself as well, we always talk about the Penguin lectures. We love the Penguin lectures. We're all mad for the Penguin lectures. And then we're all great fans of the At the Table lectures, which we actually filmed the UK ones in the studio where Pete is now. We're massive fans of the online platform. So the fact that we have this for free, well, for $4.99 as your normal thing. Normally a Penguin one used to cost $30, I think. At the Table was like $15 or something like that. So it's still more than 1 month of unlimited. And you're gonna get the Adam Dadswell one as well as all of the other studio lives, which are all there. We got Leo Smetzer's, which he actually recorded a podcast this morning. And we actually say one of the tricks on his Desert Island Tricks is taught on his unlimited lecture. So, I can't understand anyone who wouldn't want to check out some of the material on there. The studio lives are phenomenal.
Yeah, no, they really are. So, Jamie, right at the beginning, we played a trailer for Nicholas Mavresis. He is going to be doing an academy on the 12th, is it?
Yep, next week, I think it is. Yeah.
So,
next Thursday.
Cool. So tickets are available now on the site and they're at the early bird price. So go book your seat for the Nicholas Mavresis. Nicholas always delivers with clever ideas. In fact, we released, our last release was a Nicholas Mavresis trick. I've got a full uncut performance. Shall we take a look?
Let's go for it.
How was that for a segue, eh? Straight in. Here we go.
Shh, guys, the movie's about to start. Come on.
So, Joe, we're here at the fantastic Ashford Cinema. So I thought I'd show you something using this. This was a game my wife picked up at Christmas called Movie Club. We never played it, never got round to it, so I don't know what it's like. But I thought we could use it for a bit of mind reading.
Sounds good.
Now, we're going to take an imaginary trip to the cinema, not like this one. But in this cinema, there are 5 screens, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we've got a huge selection of movies that we could choose to watch. Now, these are all different, as you can clearly see. And you're going to get to choose one. But before we do, we'll give them a little mix-up like so. They're a bit big, so they're a bit hard to shuffle. But, Joe, I'm going to turn my head. What I want you to do when my head's turned is cut the deck and complete the cut for me. Okay, so I'm not going to look, but cut the deck and complete the cut. And tell me when you're done.
Yep, all done.
Okay, and now take the top movie, the one that's on top, and that's going to be your movie, okay?
Right here.
And can you take 4 more movies from the top? Tell me when you're done.
Yep.
And now you can mix, I'm going to put the rest of them away. I'm not going to look, but you can mix those 5 movies up so I don't know which is yours. But obviously you're remembering which one's yours, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Turn them face up. You're going to lay them in front of each screen. So 1 movie per screen. And only you know which one is yours. Is that fair?
That is fair.
Okay. Now, I'm going to try and read your mind and tell you what movie it was you chose. Now, bearing in mind, the cards were shuffled, you chose any one, you've laid them out in any order. Now, concentrate. Have you seen the movie before?
No.
You haven't. Would you have an idea of what it was about?
A rough idea. Yeah.
Okay, so try and picture what it's about, if you can give me that sort of feeling. Okay, I'm definitely getting the sense that it wasn't anything to do with space. It's not aliens, is it?
No.
I am feeling it's got something, it's more adult than family orientated. So I don't think it's Spider-Man, am I right?
Correct.
Okay, I feel it's something to do with crime, so I don't think it's Django. Am I right?
You are right.
So it's one of these two.
Yes.
Just look at me. Okay, I'm going to go for The Godfather. Were you thinking of The Godfather?
It was The Godfather Part 2, yeah.
But do you know how I really knew it was The Godfather? Now remember, the cards were mixed, you chose any one, and you laid them out in any order.
Yes.
Now, if you had chose Heat and you went to the cinema, you would have been disappointed because there was no show for Heat today. In fact, there was no show for Aliens, there was no show for Django, and no show for Spider-Man. But you chose The Godfather, right?
Yep.
Yeah, really hope you enjoy your movie.
What? How? No. What?
So that was Flicks by Nicholas Mavresis. It's such a beautiful trick.
My favourite Mavresis trick to date.
Yeah,
I think.
The method is so clever. Now, I just want to point out, and I'm going to film a social video. Maybe we'll film it tomorrow, Jamie. You can perform that face down. So
yeah.
Even though I feel it's sort of, it doesn't make a difference, but you are going to get that extra bit of suspense if you perform it face down, because, you know, I'm getting the feeling it's not this one. You weren't thinking of this one, right? No. Okay, let's do it again. I don't think it's this one. So you're getting those moments of suspense there as well. But I'll film that tomorrow. Maybe when you're down, we're filming the socials. We'll get that filmed as well. Andrew Lucas said, what table were you using? I was using Jamie's table. What table?
Which
is it a Five of Hearts?
Five of Hearts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a Five of Hearts. It's a great table. I've had it for years. It's very heavy to carry to gigs. The legs are super sturdy, but that's also why I love it, because it's super reliable. And when we're on a raised platform, like we were at the cinema, you want to make sure nothing falls off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great table. But we do have in Alakazam, just as a plug, genuinely, it's great. We have the tables that we took to Blackpool with us. They're
the
phenomenal
buskers
tables.
table. Yeah.
They're great. Now, we can't ship them out, but if you're in Alakazam, check them out. If I had room to store one, I think I would buy one of them and keep it for shows, because I think it'd be a great table, not just for performing, but even inside of a stage.
Yeah,
they're
it's a
massive.
big table.
They're really good. Good quality, really good quality. They're great quality.
So, Jamie Dawes.
Yes.
That was a beautiful venue we filmed the trailer in.
It was a fun day, that was.
It was a really fun
weird
day.
But a fun day.
If anyone hasn't seen it, go and watch the full trailer. That was only the performance from it. The trailer is fun, actually. So go and watch that on our website. But that being said,
I feel like this segue is there was a segue there. We could see it.
It's gone, because I've got 3 blank screens here, so I don't know which is the trailer. So we're going to play trailer roulette.
Nice.
And I'm going to try and find which is the trailer. Let me see if I've even...
What is the trailer for? Is it a trick or...
No, it's the Alakazam convention happening less than a year from now.
Which is great. We got to get our hats on.
Yeah.
Get this going. It's going to be great, though.
Well,
it's going to be really good.
All the acts are booked. All the shows sorted. All we need to work on now are things like the souvenir brochure, The little added bits like that, but also the little Easter eggs that are going to be around the convention. Not real Easter eggs, because we would have eaten them by then.
Oh.
Yeah. But the other little Easter eggs that we're going to be throwing into the convention. Little bits of fun. So let's take a look. Hopefully this is the button. We'll see.
We've seen the messages. You guys have been asking for an Alakazam convention for literally 3 decades. As you guys know with Alakazam, we want everything to be perfect. And the hardest part of a convention is finding a venue that fits every single need. So until we find that venue, the wait will continue. Okay, the wait is over. We have done it. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the venue for the Alakazam Magic Convention. Now, where we are now is actually the main lobby, the main hub for the Alakazam Convention. This is where you're going to be chilling out. This is where you're going to be jamming, where you're going to be spending time meeting new friends. All around here makes the perfect place to meet new people, to share new ideas, to teach some little subtleties, some sleight of hand that you may have learned. And here we have the bit some of you are interested in, right? The bar, where you can get the food, where you can get the drinks. It's a fully stocked bar with everything you could ever want. Hot food, snacks, ice cream, popcorns, you name it, it will be there. At the end of the lobby, up there, will be where the cherry-picked dealers will be. So there'll be some dealers on show at the end there, where they'll be showing you the latest and greatest magic tricks available on the market. Now, all this is incredible. That's without even looking at where the lectures and masterclasses will be. So guys, why don't we take a look at where that'll be? And the lectures and masterclasses are going to be happening right here. Now, we've thought about everything. So whether you're sat on the front row or the back row, it's fully tiered seating, giving you a perfect view no matter where you're sat. Now, I know what you're thinking, what about card magic? How are we going to see it close up? Well, we've even thought about that. There is a full cinema screen that's going to be having a close-up shot of everything that you're going to need to see. So tickets are available right now, but they are in very, very limited quantity. If you want to be part of the Alakazam Magic Convention, then make sure you grab your ticket now. Trust me, you are not going to want to miss it. We've thought about everything. We know you're going to absolutely love it. Join us now.
So over 70% of the tickets already sold. If you haven't secured yours yet, go grab it because there's not many left. Also, I will say for those of you that are turning up early, so the convention is on a Saturday. For those of you that are turning up on the Friday, there is going to be something happening on the Friday night. We're not sure what it is yet. At least it will be a hangout with the Alakazam team and the artists where we can have a drink, chat, jam, whatever. But there could be something else. Now it might be, if it's a hangout, it's free of charge. There might be an extra cheap ticketed event that you're offered to be part of if you want to. Details of that will be coming out. We're still working out, but we know we're going to do something on the Friday night. At least it's going to be a hangout with us lot and the artists. So for those of you that are turning up on the Friday. And on the Sunday, we are opening the shop from 10 till 2. Now, bearing in mind, Alakazam is not a huge shop, it's only a small shop. But we'll accommodate as many of you as we can. So if you want to pop along on the Sunday, come in, say hi, have a browse, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So you can make a weekend of it. We have got the designer outlet centre right on our doorstep as well. So there's plenty to do, plenty to do.
You're going to have to get an Alakazam marquee, I think, outside.
Yeah. Do you know what? That ain't a bad idea. There is a local little coffee van that parks outside, so I am going to let them know that we're opening on the Sunday, because they might pop along to sell coffees and stuff. Colin Jones said he's turning up on Friday, so Colin, everyone that has bought a ticket, we will be sending out updates just to you on email, so expect some updates, and the email subject line will be called Convention News, so make sure you read them when they come through, because they'll have extra information about the convention. So yeah, it's going to be great. I'm so excited. We've been talking about it for 20 years, and I'm glad it's finally happening, and I'm hoping it goes as well as we think it will. I'm sure it will. And if so, it's going to be an annual event, and maybe the year after will be a 2-day event. We'll see. Because there's so much I want to add in. We just haven't got the time.
Well, it's the funny thing this year was we've had so many people say, oh, it'd be great to do the gala show, or it'd be great to do a lecture, or we could have already turned this into a 3-day event because of the amount of people that wanted to be a part of it, which is, you know, it's great going forward. It's so nice to see so many people want to be involved and be a part of it. It's great.
Well, the fact that we had a show from Las Vegas email and say, we'll do our show in the gala. Unfortunately, we've already booked, all the acts were booked before we committed to do the convention. Because what we didn't want to do is book the convention and then start having to find people. So we got everything in place. So this was all in place before we announced the convention was actually going to happen. But we now know that we've got all these people that have just said, I'd love to be a part of it, I'd love to be a part of it. And the other thing is as well, we had so many great ideas for little things that could be happening, and there just isn't enough time in one day. I mean, bearing in mind, there's 4 lectures happening in the day. So that's 4 hours of your day gone. And then you need time for lunch in between, you need time for dinner before the gala show, you need time to browse the dealers, time to sit there, grab a drink and jam for a bit. So, yeah, we'll see. Colin said, how many screens at the cinema? See, that was the other option, Colin, was to basically get 2 screens. But the problem is, if you get 2 screens, people have to choose what they're going to watch. The only way we were going to do the 2 screens was like double up on everything. But then you've got the problem of the gala show. That's the big issue, you know, because you can only fit X amount of people into the screen to watch the gala. But there are options. I don't think we would move venue to a bigger venue, because I just don't think there's a better venue.
Well, know? I think eventually, if we end up doing a 2 or 3 day event in the future, that's when we'll have to look at, you know, there's no other way around it. It would have to be this or that, or, you know, or we'll try and put on contrasting things, or double up on lectures at different times. There's only, the problem is, the bigger it grows, the more logistically you have to try and get your head around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a great problem to have, in fairness. It's a good problem to have. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I think this year, starting small, getting our head around it, making sure it's a great event, and then upscaling it in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't wait. I'm so excited. And part of me wishes we would have done one this year, because we had enough time, but we wanted to make sure we didn't really know what was going on, but we're ready.
Yeah.
Almost. I mean,
but in the future though, it means, like, if we wanted to do smaller conventions. We could do like one for kids entertainers, or maybe a bazaar one, because we don't have a bazaar convention down south by us. The only one is up north. So it gives us scope. We can just plan, now that we know the venue is there, these smaller conventions, one-day conventions, in the future. So the sky's sort of the limit at this point.
Yeah, and there's another thing we're thinking of as well, which, if it comes off, we will announce. And once again, it's making use of that venue. I mean, we're very lucky that we've had a few great meetings with the venue, and we are now their exclusive Magic, i.e. they won't hire a venue out to anyone else doing Magic, which is fantastic for us. But that being said, it now opens the door for us to start looking at putting on other events. You know, so we've got some exciting stuff happening, you know, so we'll see. We'll see. We've got so many fingers in so many pies at the moment, but it's all exciting stuff.
We should do a little exclusive thing for Unlimited members with the convention as well. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll think up something for our Unlimited subscribers.
Yeah.
We'll do a little exclusive thing for them so that they have a little benefit as well.
Yeah, 100%. Lee Alex said Eastwell Manor would be a great location for a bazaar convention. I'll tell you what would be a great location. Lee, that's a good shout. But Lee, you know as well as I do how much a sandwich cost in that place. Did you know, Jamie, Lee Alex worked in Eastwell Manor?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think he was
a magician.
No. I think he was. Were you the manager, Lee? Lee worked in Eastwell Manor years ago. I didn't know. Wow. Lee told me. But you know what would be a better location for a convention? Where you did your Halloween show.
Yeah, what, Bilsington?
Yeah. I mean, that is as spooky as anything. Oh, do you know what?
Well, they do actual ghost hunts there.
What better place to do a bazaar convention? The only problem is it's a pain to get to, but Pluckley.
Oh, that would be great. I've still never been Pluckley.
Well, not next time you're down, 'cause you're down tomorrow and I can't be asked. But at some point, me and you will go down there, because there are venues like pubs in Pluckley. And I'm sure we could hire out one of them. And Pluckley is the most haunted village in the UK.
Yep. Wasn't it in the... I'm not sure if it's been taken out, though, but at one point it was in the Guinness World Record for the most ghosts in an area or a place.
Yeah. Yeah. Trainee hotel
manager. Wow. So then, did Lee then become a magician after meeting you guys there filming?
No, I never met Lee there. This was before the time that we were filming there.
Oh,
Lee,
really?
Were you a magician when you worked there? And how long ago was it?
Well, that's a really weird coincidence.
Yeah.
That's really bizarre, isn't it? That's funny. So I did a little podcast, someone else's podcast, and on it I was talking about the soft rock, which some people commented on the live last week, and
what is it?
Harry had a soft rock. So the idea is from another podcast called We Can Be Weirdos, and the idea is the name soft rock comes from the guy who hosted it. His mate one night came back from a night out and went, "Guys, I've discovered a soft rock." And everyone's like, "What?" He went, "Last night I laid down in the field, there was a rock there, a massive boulder rock, and it was soft. And I laid on it, and it was just a soft rock." And his mates were like, "What are you on about?" So he took them to this soft rock, and then when they found the rock, they found out it was a cowpat. So it was just a big pile of poo that had, in the sun, it had like a skin on it. so it looked like a rock, and he had laid on it. Anyway, so
Nice.
then they coined this phrase, soft rock. So the idea is a soft rock is something that's happened to you that is impossible, and you know it's impossible. You know
But
there's
you
no
still
way it can
believe
happen.
it.
But it happened. It definitely happened to you, but you know it's impossible. So a lot of the time it's a ghost story. So on the podcast that I was on, we asked people to list their soft rocks. So underneath, lots of people have put their stories, but they wanted to know if Harry had one. But I'm sure you've got loads of soft rocks at this point.
I've got one which I think I've told a few times, and it's sort of not a nasty story, but one of my nans, my father's mum. So after my mum and my dad left Egypt, they met in Egypt during the war and everything. My dad was from Italy. My mum was brought up in France. Her mum was French, but her father was English. But after they left Egypt, my dad's family sort of split up. So my nan and one of my aunties went to Brazil. One of my uncles went to Germany. We had family that went to Australia. So they literally all left Egypt in different directions. And my nan used to come over maybe every 2 or 3 years and stay with us over Christmas. My nan and my aunt used to come over. And I remember, I can't remember how old I was, maybe about 8. And there was 6 siblings in my family. So I had 2 brothers, 3 sisters. We lived in it was only a 3-bedroom house. So a big house, but it only had 3 bedrooms. So me and my brothers were in one room. My sisters would be in another room. So if people came to stay, we would end up doubling up in beds. So, you know, I'd jump in with one of my brothers or one of my sisters or whatever, so we had a spare bed for the guest. Now, this one night, I remember waking up in bed and turning round, and I saw my nan laying next to me, right? 100%, as far as I'm concerned, she was there. So I just thought, oh, well, nan's come over. So I turned over and went to sleep. The next day, I found out my nan had died. And that's not in bed with me, obviously, in Brazil. But, and that...
Did she pass away the day before then? Oh no, you said she was
Yeah.
a completely different place.
Yeah, she's a different country. But thinking back now, it's obviously I've turned round, half asleep, the pillow's in a weird thing, my mind's playing tricks, and I've seen Nan. But even so, what a coincidence that the person I feel I see in my sleep is the one that passed away. So,
yeah, that's one of the stories where even when you find the rationale to it, it's still fairly strange that it was her that you thought you saw.
Yeah, because it could have been anyone. You know, it could have been any of my aunties from abroad. It could have been my sisters or brothers. It could have been one of my cousins. It could have been anyone that I would have... Go on.
Did you mention, so when you woke up, did you mention to someone, oh, where's Nan? And then they told you she had passed away? Like, did you raise, where is she?
I can't remember how that conversation went, because obviously my family would have been crying downstairs. So yeah. I've walked into that and I was told before I said it, or I've walked in and said it and then I was told. I can't remember how that played out, because I was, like I said, I might have even been younger. I might have been 7 or 8, but it's something that's stuck with me. And if I had to put money on it, even though I know it can't have been, but if I was to put money on it, I'm telling you, it was her in the bed. It was her face I saw. And it wasn't turning around and I was shocked or scared or anything. I turned around and it was like, oh, Nan's here. Because it wasn't it wasn't an odd thing to sort of, because we're such a big family, and you know, even outside my immediate family, we're a huge family with aunties, uncles, cousins. So, and it was not unusual for people to come in and, you know, my sister had to jump in my bed, or me to have to sleep with one of my older sisters, or something like that. You know, it wasn't unusual to free up beds for guests that were staying. So there was no sort of, oh, that's a bit weird. It was just like, oh, Nan's here. And then tomorrow morning it would have been, right, you're sleeping in so-and-so's bed, Nan's going to have your room, this is going to happen, you know. But yeah, so that's one of those things, and one that stuck with me all this time, you know.
I bet Jenny's got quite a few as well. I bet. Yeah. I don't know if I don't think Harry's ever told me a soft rock story that I can recall. I think Jenny will have quite a few.
Yeah, there's. I think if I was to think of it, there'll be a few that are a bit odd. You know, usually they're just really odd. You can put them down to coincidence or whatever, but they're so, I mean, you know, if you were to think of when we did that ghost hunt and that torch, you know, and I think, I don't know if we spoke about this on Terry Tyson's, or we might have spoke about it before, you know, when we were speaking to Terry before we went live. But me, Jamie and Jenny done a ghost hunt a couple of years ago. And we were upstairs. This was in Bilsington Priory. So it's a really spooky place. It's haunted, you know, and all this. And we've gone up to this room and they've given us all a bit of apparatus, whether it's the dowsing rods or some EV meter or whatever it's called. And they put a few things about, I don't know if they put a bell somewhere, they put a little torch somewhere, and basically they would ask questions and the ghosts could communicate with us by ringing the bell or by turning on the torch. But me and Jamie were there, and obviously we're quite skeptical about all of this stuff. And they asked the question, it was literally like, if there's someone here, can you give us a sign? The moment they said it, the torch went boom, like this. And I looked at Jamie and I went, go and have a look at that torch. Because it was, the timing was perfect, wasn't it? And then
it wasn't just once either, it was continuous, because it was, turn it on now. Great, if this is a man, turn it off. Great, thank you so much.
The timing was perfect. I went to Jamie, I went, go and check that torch out because that's remote or something, there's something going on. And then Jamie walked over, started fitting, come back and went, no, it's a normal torch. And at this point we're sitting there going, and the thing is, let me explain this. If I was to say, if there's someone there, turn the torch on. And then we waited for 5 minutes and that torch come on, you would go, it's a bit weird, but it wasn't. The timing was, if there's someone there, turn that torch on, bang, it was on.
Bang on, yeah.
If you're a man, turn it off, boom, it's off. The timing was perfect. Now, we did some research and we worked out how it was working. But even the way we know it was working, it's not accurate. So it was just a coincidence that it happened to turn on and turn on, because they didn't time it.
No.
It was just a coincidence, but it was perfection. So, I mean, that could have definitely been a soft rock story, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, they did do the brick upstairs. Do you remember when we went to the attic and they had the brick with 8 lights on? We never worked that one out.
No,
So
that was.
And then when it moved to it, all the lights would move to where the spirit was touching, and that was so accurate as well. That was perfect.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we didn't get the chance to check that, and that's a purpose-built prop as opposed to the torch was just a standard torch. So, yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
that there might have been something in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very interesting night. But yeah, maybe we need to get a load of soft rocks. If anyone wants to listen to the podcast, it's podcast at the card table, and we talked about bizarre stuff. I went on for about 3 hours in the end. I felt sorry for him having to edit that. I mean, editing the Desert Island Tricks is bad, but that's full on. But yeah, and underneath there are soft rocks. So if you have a soft rock story, right underneath it would be interesting to read them. It's been good fun reading them as well.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a really common one is covers being pulled off of people. That's quite a common one. And somebody stood in the corner of a room at night. That also seems to be quite a common one, like a shadow person. So yeah. There you go. That was a bit of a tangent, but there we go.
So Trevor said, Peter, are any of your brothers and sisters into magic? No, they love it. None of them perform. I'm the only magician in the family. But my sisters and in fact, all my family, I've been really lucky that all my family love magic. They love watching it. And, you know, my mum, God bless her, was very supportive when I was a kid and doing magic. Yeah, so I've been lucky like that, but none of them do it. They love watching it. I know when Jamie came out for a meal and my sisters were there and my brother-in-laws, Jamie was performing PK touches and a few other things, and they still speak about that today, you know. So yeah, they love it. Oh, hang on, I can't see.
Well, this is suspenseful.
Oh, so Colin Jones said, I was at my aunt's funeral standing next to my nan. I looked up at my nan and said to her, Jeannie, it's okay, I'm here with you. I've never called her that, but my granddad always called her that.
Oh, so it just came out of his mouth and didn't think about it.
See, that
that's
sort
a
of
weird
stuff
one.
puts a little shiver.
Yeah, that's
down
a
my-
strange one, isn't it?
Yeah. Puts a
Yeah.
little shiver
There's-
down my spine.
There's a great story. I can't share it. It's not mine to share. But there was another magician friend of mine. He has a phenomenal soft rock story about when he was on holiday, sort of similar to yours, where he was out. Something happened to him, which was something happened to his mum, and it was very peculiar. And then when he got back to his house, he found out something else had happened, and it directly correlated with both of them. And there was no way he could have known about it, and it goes beyond the coincidence. It's not really a coincidence. It was a surefire thing. So yeah.
Well, this is another one. Like, this isn't really a soft rock thing, but this is another spooky thing, right? So on my mum's side, there was a lot of brothers and sisters. So I think in my mum's family there was like 13. So I had a lot of aunties and uncles. And one of my aunties, an auntie called Auntie Betty, never left the house. And when I say she never left the house, she never left the house. She lived in her house. We would go and visit her. She would never leave. Lived in a big house in southeast London. And I'll be honest with you, she was a lovely lady. Out of all my aunties, I knew her the least, because my other aunties, I'd come home from school, they'd be sitting around the table with my mum, they're all playing cards and eating and, you know, chatting. So I was around them a lot more. Auntie Betty, we would only visit maybe, you know, once every couple of months or something like that. So I didn't know her that well. But there was always spooky. Her house was spooky. It was massive. But it was always spooky things. And I remember once I was living at my house, my mum's house, but my girlfriend at the time had moved in with me and she was living there. And the phone, let me think about this. Oh, the phone rang and my girlfriend got out of the bath, put on a dressing gown or a towel or whatever, answered the phone, and it was either my friend or her friend, whatever it was, she's speaking to him on the phone. And then you probably won't remember this, Jamie, but in our time, we would have something like, it was called a cross line. So let's say I phoned you up, there was this odd sort of freaky thing that would happen, that if someone else tried to ring me, it would usually give them an engaged tone to say Peter and Jamie's, or Peter's on the phone, right? But at certain times, and it happened very rarely, but you'd get something called a cross line, where you would just appear in our conversation. So we had a three-way conversation. It was really weird. And that's not a spooky thing, that's just something that used to happen, but rarely. But my girlfriend was speaking to either my friend or her friend, and my auntie just comes straight into the line and just said, "It's Betty, is Daisy there," who's my mum? And my girlfriend said no, and she said, "Well, you need to put some clothes on or you'll catch your death of cold." Right? So bearing in mind, she just got out of the bath and she's got a towel on. And the other thing was, a couple of doors up, there was a fire engine. And she said to my girlfriend, "Why is there a fire engine outside the house? What's wrong?"
And where was she though?
She was in her house,
Miles
which
away.
was, I would say 2 miles away.
Wow, that's strange, isn't it? That is really peculiar.
And it's really weird. I mean, if anyone could see into the future, it was Auntie Betty. If you said, "What sort of woman do you believe has these powers?" it was her.
Wow.
She just seemed to know everything. And
Bizarre, isn't it? That's
yeah,
really
the
strange.
fact that you get a cross line was not very common. It did happen, but it was not very common. And then the fact that she just, and there was loads of little things like that with Auntie Betty, where you just think, that's not
That's
not
strange,
right.
isn't it?
There's, yeah.
We
Yeah.
should, one night we should do the FDIS method. So what you do is you get someone with noise cancelling headphones and a blindfold, and they're listening to a radio signal that is just flicking between different stations. And if they hear a word, they just have to say it. But obviously this person can't see or hear anything. And then someone else in the room is shouting out questions like, "Is there anyone here? Who is this person? Do you have a name?" That sort of stuff. And there's this weird thing where this person with the headphones on will just start answering the questions that the other person's calling out loud. It's sort of like what you just said with that phone, where it would just cut in. But that's like a modern day version that they do in seances now. So we should do it at your house one day and see what comes through. I bet something would as well.
Yeah, I don't want to do it in my house.
Well, that's where they're all going to be, aren't they? We'll do it in the garden.
Yeah. Wow. Flip. I mean, my mum believed all of this, like all of the stuff, and some of the stories she told me that were really out there. I mean, even when you're going, no, that didn't happen, Mum.
Yeah.
But she believed it. She believed it. I mean, she was, Mum was very
Or maybe she just had a
spiritual.
load of soft rocks. Like, you
Yeah.
just spoke about something that you know is impossible, but it definitely happened. So maybe she just had loads of those things.
Well,
happen.
she believed it as well, which, you know, I think if you, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm not going to say them here, I'll tell you some of them, but they are so out there that you go, right, okay, if I saw that, if I saw what Mum said she saw, I would be a believer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
So Colin,
It's quite interesting that though that you had that experience and you're still not a believer though.
do you know what though? I say I'm not a believer.
I reckon you're the same as me. Like you want to believe and
Yeah,
you want that definitive proof that it's a real thing.
yeah,
You like if one day one of us came back and we said, Pete, you're never going to believe what happened last night. I was in my room and this person who I knew years ago who's dead was stood there 100%, done this thing through something or whatever it's going to do, and then just went. Like that's what I think we both want it to be real, but
yeah, you need it to happen. Now, Jenny has taken me to a couple of, do you call them mediums? Is it? I suppose.
yes, psychic mediums, yeah.
We've been to a couple of them, and I go to sort of appease Jenny because Jenny does believe, and you know, and to people. These, even though as magicians we're supposed to be against it and everything else, but I went to one with Jenny and there wasn't many people there. There was about 6 people there, so not many people turned up. And apart from me and Jenny, all the other people, 4 or 5 other people, were all regulars. Now, some of those regulars were in a bad mental state. And one of them, I would say, was pretty much suicidal, which is horrible. But the medium comforted him and gave him what he needed. He had lost his mum, this, that, and the other. She was speaking to him, so I saw her more as a counsellor. He was happy, calm, and when I say suicidal, he weren't running about the place. He was sitting down like me or you, but he was depressed. He was upset. Mm-hmm. She gave him something that made him feel better. So can I say that's wrong? I can't. Even if he's paid £10. I think for him, that was £10 well spent. For his mental state, and she did it very well. She comforted him and she gave him what he needed. Now, when she read me, she said my father was there, who she said she can quite clearly see coming out of the coal mines up north with his flat cap on. You know, obviously didn't know my father was Domenico Nardi from Italy. You know, she thought he was a northern coal miner. And then she said my mum was there. Now, I know that there is one thing my mum could say to me, and I know it was her. And if it was her, she would say it to me. Mm. So why doesn't she? And why, if she can speak to this medium, why is she speaking to her in riddles?
Exactly, yeah.
If I'm talking to you, if I'm talking to you now, why am I giving you a quiz? just tell me this.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I can't get my head around. And you know, if one medium said, I've got your mum here, and she says, boom, then I would go, tell me more. Mm. But no one's ever done it. And I know, you know, yeah. It's all too
I'm
vague,
with you there.
Isn't
it's
it?
Yeah, there's no, like, I remember 222, A Ghost Story, the play. There's a wonderful line in it where one of the characters says, so what, do clothes die as well? Because why have ghosts always got clothes on? Clothes don't die. There's so many inconsistencies when it comes to ghosts. And the other thing is, why is everyone scared of them? No ghost in recorded history has killed anyone. So why are we all scared of these ghosts? They don't, if they are real, generally they don't seem to be bad. And even the evil spirits, they throw something across the room. Yeah. I've had exes that have done the same thing, you know? It's not, it's just normal behavior. So I don't know. There's too many. Like, we're quite logical thinkers, I think, magicians, and we'll pick it apart until it's just the way our brains work, isn't it? We're just wired that way. And when you pick it all apart, none of it makes sense, really.
Yeah.
I wish it did, but
there was two like hilarious ones. One of these, me and Jen went to, and I think this is a woman. I think she lives. No, she's not the one that lives near you. But this is another one. No, this is another one that's very busy and you've got to book up. But it's not that one, because Jenny had a Zoom with the one near you, and Jenny come down crying, like literally crying, with the information they had given her, and she said it was so accurate. I weren't there. I didn't hear it. And the thing is, I feel bad exposing it. I don't think it's my. Do you know, Jenny knows how I feel about it. So if Jenny comes down totally emotional, I've just spoke to mum, am I right to now say, no, you didn't? Everything you've heard that's made you feel good is right. Is that down to me to do? And I will say I did do that once to a friend who had been to see a psychic, come back, was quite happy. She had got in contact with her parents and this, that and the other. And I, not nastily, but I just said, look, it's all bullshit. And she got very upset, you know, not at me, but very upset. And I had just taken away something that made her very happy. Mm-hmm. It's a really dodgy ground, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. But the thing is, I've been at gigs before, and I'm sure everyone's had this, where someone will come up to. So, for example, so years ago, I did a gig at Beckenham down by me. It was a Halloween show, and I had the Cesaral Spirit Bell, and I had these two ladies come up. Neither of them were from England. They were just visiting here and just stumbled upon this show. And then I did basically a spirit bell where one of them thinks of a colour. The bell rings when I call out that colour, and supposedly it's the ghost. And at the end of the show, the woman came up to me, and Liam Ball hosted this, so he'll attest to this. She came up to me and she just went, "That was amazing. I could feel the spirit using my hand to ring the bell." And I was like, "Oh no, it's just a magic trick." And she went, no, I know that this is real. Yeah. I said, no, honestly, this is a magic trick. That's just a special prop that allows me to do it. She's like, whatever you say it is, I'm happy with that. But thank you for giving me that experience. I'm glad that I know the spirits are here and that they're with me. And sometimes it doesn't matter. Like you could give them definitive proof that this is not real, and they still think it's real. Yeah. I remember seeing a Jamay show years ago, and he literally said, you know, none of this is real. What I'm about to show you is not real. And then after the show, people were going, oh, I know he says it's not real, but obviously that's just a way for him to cover up that he's doing it for real. Yeah. Like, so if someone's going to believe in something, sometimes it doesn't matter how logical or how much evidence you give them. If they're evangelic about like religion, or if they're really passionate about psychics or whatever it is, there's nothing that you can do really to stop that. It's just what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're going to have to wrap this up soon because we're already over. But this was a great conversation. I've really enjoyed this. But it was Magic Man said, and I think this is talking about the guy that I was talking about that was, you know, going through it. Grief counselling would have been more beneficial. The fact is, we don't know that.
No.
This could have been more beneficial to him because this could be what he needed. But also, it's his choice where he goes. That's the thing. He might be one of these people that would never go to a
To a
counsellor.
counsellor. Yeah.
You know,
Agreed.
and I think even though what our beliefs are, and there was nothing at either of these psychics I went to that made me believe. There was nothing, there was no hint of anything that was accurate. No hint of anything. But for other people, they do believe it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very, very hard one. But do you know what? I think this is a really good topic.
Yeah, well, it's very unplanned.
Yeah, it was.
A bit left field. We started with a soft rock, and now we're on to the rights and wrongs of psychics.
Yeah.
So there we
Well,
go.
Before we go, I'm just going to play one more trailer, and it segues in nicely because it's the invisible harmonica. So, is it a ghost harmonica?
With your hands completely empty, you can play any object like a harmonica.
The invisible harmonica allows you to show your hands empty. Grab an imaginary object out of the air and turn that object into a sound of an harmonica.
Catch in thin air and to produce a coin like this. When he plays a tone on it, okay, like this.
No speakers, no remotes. The best thing is, it sounds like a real harmonica because it's a real harmonica.
People meet me for the very first time. They find out I'm a magician. The common question I get is, what instrument do you play? It's because they hear musician. I do play one instrument. I didn't bring it with me, but I can draw it for you. Maybe you can guess.
Okay. Harmonica.
Yeah, it is a harmonica. That's what I play. Check it out. That's the harmonica I play.
Go away.
All you do is you just... That's it. That's how you play the harmonica.
Whoa.
So
I'm
that-
opting for spirits. It's definitely ghosts.
So they are in stock now, and there's a bunch of new stuff going on the website. So go check it out this afternoon.
I do have a very quick tie-in though, just to bring it back. So if you are a fan of the spookier side of things, we've got something happening hopefully this month, which me and Harry were discussing last week, and he's very excited for it now, and me and Pete are very excited about it. But there is a little collaboration that Alakazam are partaking in.
I'm going to let you speak about this. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
All right, so we have got a collaboration happening. Now, I can't tell you too much about it at the moment, but we are teaming up with a very, very, very good new company who produces really beautiful bespoke items. We've got them in the shop now. They are going to be, there's going to be some available during the launch evening, but we anticipate they'll sell out pretty much that night, and then it's going to be you'll basically have the opportunity to order one, but because they're bespoke made, there'll have to be a lead time. So I think it's going to be about a month lead time into them. But one of those items in particular I'm very excited about, because I'm a big collector of bizarre props, and my bookshelf upstairs has got lots of bells, and John Morton very kindly gave me a mini coffin with a black feather in, and I've still not opened it. I still don't know what was inside, because he told me that should I open it, something will die. So it's still sealed. He's the only person that knows what it is, but that's on the shelf. And this item that we are going to be launching, one of the items in particular, I cannot wait to routine and to write a cool story for. We've come up with an idea for a really interesting trailer for it as well. It's going to be a great collaboration. We cannot wait. If you see the amount of work and effort that goes into these props as well, they really are phenomenal props. So keep an eye out. Hopefully we'll be announcing within the next few weeks when that's going to be. And get in quickly, because I anticipate they'll sell out on launch night.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, they are phenomenal. The amount of work that goes into these things, and they are beautiful.
They are beautiful. I'm down at the shop tomorrow. He's very kindly provided Pete with one of them and myself with one of them, so that we can start working on routines. And if we do taboos this year, I think I'm going to try and write a cool routine for that prop this year, because I think it's probably the most excited for a bizarre prop that I've been since the Cesaro Spirit Bell. I think it's up there in quality.
It's very clever. It's very not only the mechanics of it are very clever, but the actual idea of it has never, in my knowledge, has never been done before.
Nope.
And it opens itself up to so many stories. You know, what this prop is from, or this item. It opens it up, and you've had so many effects in the past that this could have worked with.
Oh, Love and War. This
Yeah.
would be perfect for Love and War.
Yeah.
It'd be a brilliant routine for it. And what I really love, just as a little Easter egg, when he creates these things, if you open up the box and it smells a bit old, he actually he's found a source for smell pods. So he actually sprays each of the props so that they smell authentic. So when you open up the box, it will smell old and like it really is from that era. He just, the level of detail is phenomenal, and he's such a nice guy. So yeah, I'm really excited for people to see them, because they're phenomenal. I think on launch night we've only got 5 of those to launch, and then the rest are going to be on order. So if I were you guys, I would get on it. If you've ever wanted to do anything spooky or bizarre, they're great props. They're really, really good. In fact, next time we go on a ghost hunt, we should take some of our gear along.
Yeah, 100%.
Could you imagine?
Well, I think, we'll discuss it. We'll put a little trailer out to let you know. It's going to be a launch night all on its own for this range of products. Are we launching them all together?
Yes, we're going to launch. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products on launch. So we're going to have 5 products, but we only have a certain number of each. Yeah. Because they are handmade, they are bespoke. So as soon as those ones sold out, you'll then have the option to order. And then when they're on order, there'll be a lead time, which will be stated in the product description. But he can turn them around really, really well. It's his full-time occupancy, so he's going to just stay at home and make these props for everyone. So the lead time shouldn't be too terrible, depending on how many we get.
Cool. Right, we're going to have to start wrapping this up, but just a quick one coming from Graham. Hi, Peter. When Hard Stretch was released, I think I remember Craig Petty saying Roman Armstrong had another great effect to watch out for in the near future, or am I mistaken? Roman has got a lot of great ideas. He has, I say unfortunately, but it's not, it's very fortunately, he's been very busy over the last couple of years working on stage shows with other artists. So he's not been out of the Magic game, but he's been focusing on working, you know, on these stage shows. So I've got no doubt you'll be seeing more from Roman at some point, but at the moment he's busy doing other things. But
yeah, he's got some great ideas. He showed us a couple of them last year and the year before, and they're really, really good.
Yeah,
really
he's a clever cookie. Right, so guys, we are going to leave you now. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm not going to apologise that we went off on that tangent because I really enjoyed talking about it. The thing is, there's not very often, me and Jamie speak every day, but there's not very often we get a chance to actually sit down and just talk about something like this, because it's usually, what do you think of this trailer, or what do you think of this, or what are we doing here? It's usually work, whereas that was quite interesting. But I want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you to Jamie as well for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And keep an eye out next week. I'm not sure if we're going to be live because I'm not here, but whether Harry goes live or not, I don't know, because he might be busy in the shop. But otherwise, we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. But if you've got your notifications on, you'll get that notification if we go live. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all your support, and make sure you check out the website for all the latest products. And don't forget the Nicholas Mabresis Academy happening next week. Tickets are on the early bird price at the moment.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to leave you with one more trailer, and we will see you soon.
I can't change my mind. So let's do this. Give me a number up to 10. So give me red or black. Hearts, clubs, spades, or diamonds. Red or black? Red, perfect. So that's going to be a hearts or diamonds, all right? I'm committed. Hearts or diamonds. Which one? Hearts. So we have a red, we have a heart. Imagine an ace through a king, all right? Imagine an ace through a king. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop. It looks about a 7, 8, or 9, is that right? Which one was it? An 8? So the 8 of what? Which one is it?
It's 9.
It was 9? So is the 9 of what?
Yeah.
You can change it to a spade if you want. Which one do you want? I told you I'm committed, yeah? Hold out your hand. One card.
In my head, I tossed back and forth between clubs and diamonds. That's crazy.
That is crazy. It was 9? So is the 9 of what?
Was it diamond?
What, did you say diamond or which one?
I think I did them on British.
He doesn't know.
There's no way, bro. There's no way. Oh, good. But you had that before, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Bro. You had it before, I guess. So how did you?
That's right on, bro. Right on.
Wow.
I'm about to pick up this stuff. There's kids, bro.
Yo, bro.
There's kids, gang.
Oh, yo,
There's kids, bro. Bro, I'm a man.
Dude, I'm gonna freak out. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What the fuck? Yo, what?
Yo.
Go for the ball. See what it's gonna stick. High five. High five. Yeah!